Hello fellow Olympians, and today I'm going to share with you the books I will read to complete my labors. Hello lovely bookworms, I'm Esmay from Paradise Pages on Instagram and also on Twitter, and welcome to a new video. So we are nearing closer and closer to March, meaning that it is time for me to share with you my TBR for March. This is going to be huge. It is also earlier than normal because I want to see if I can give you a little bit of a sense for all of the prompts. Yes, you heard that correctly, all of the prompts. I'm going to do a 12 book TBR for this month. Some of them will be digital, some of them will be physical. There will be no game of the books this month. I quite simply cannot combine the two, and quite honestly I just wanted to show you all of the books that I'm attempting to read. I do have to say that I will set myself a sort of set goal for 6, but we'll see how I will do with my reading. So yeah, 12 books, let's get into it. As you probably know, I am the leader of Team Zeus, and that is of course why I'm going to be using Zeus as my team and Zeus's perk. So what I am allowed to do is pick all 6 of my labors to complete, so I don't have to keep to the schedule, the set schedule. That said, I will fill all 12 of them and then see which books that I hopefully set right now I will read, or if I switch some things out. Yeah, let's just go through all of the labors and show you the books that I've chosen for those prompts. So the very first labor you could potentially fulfill is the slaying of the Nimian lion. So for that you actually have to read a book that is centered around some type of a hero, and for that I am going to go for Shanghai Immortal. I am really looking into reading mostly mythology books, preferably Greek, but not all of them Greek. And this is actually Chinese mythology. This is, I think, about a girl who's on a mission to save her family and then finds herself in the mortal world, if I remember correctly, or it's the other way around. I think it's the mortal world. I am nonetheless very excited for this. I feel like I really also love Chinese, Japanese mythology. These are so interesting to read about. Anything in that sort of feel and genre is just, well, it's not really a genre, it's more of a setting, but I really like those, and that is my first labor. So the second one is the slaying of their, I can't pronounce this to save my life, Lernaean Hydra, so the 9-headed Hydra. And I am beyond excited to continue a series that I have been meaning to continue for a very long time, and this was actually the perfect book for that prompt. So the second prompt is actually that you should read a book with multiple point of views, and for that I have chosen A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the second book in the Darker Shade of Magic series that is about multiple different Londons from red to white, and you actually follow multiple different characters. I really enjoyed the first one. I have no clue why I never continued with the second one, but that's why I'm putting this on my TBR for this month. So the third one is actually capturing the Cernaean Hind, and this should be a fast-paced book. I have quite a few middle grades, but I've opted to go for young adult for this one. And the book I have decided to go for is A Magic Steeped in Poison. This is about a girl who accidentally poisons her family with a tea and is then on a mission to save them. I think this is really interesting. I also really love these types of covers. They are just beautiful. They're so vibrant, and I also believe that this is also a mythology book, so that can get me an extra point if I do finish it. As I said, I really like, I think this is also Chinese inspired. Either that or Japanese. I'm so sorry, I don't know which one it's a Chinese mythology. That's what it is. And yeah, I really like those types of mythology books. Like I said, I really love that setting in a book, so I cannot wait to hopefully pick this one up. So next up we have the Ermanthian Boar, and for that one you should read a cold book. So anything polar goes, it can be whatever you want it to be. And for that I actually decided to put Through the White Wood by Jessica Leek on my TBR. I have read her other book, Beyond a Darkened Shore, I think. yeah, Beyond the Darkened Shore, which I did quite enjoy, and I think this is in that along that similar vein of a journey, but then cold. So I think this is in sort of the Arctic or something along those lines. It's just a very cold place. Oh, and she has magic, actually, freezing magic. So yeah, really excited to see what this is all about. I think this is also a standalone, which is good. Not a mythology book though, but nonetheless a good book to put on this list. Then next up I have The Cleaning of the Aegon Stables, and for this one you should read a book where water is a central theme or is included. It could be on the cover or the title. You can do whatever you want with this, honestly, but I went for House of Salt and Sorrows. This is a retelling actually of the 12 Dancing Princesses, and this is located around a shore and the sea, like a cottage at the sea. Yeah, manor by the sea actually, and I thought that this would be perfect for this prompt. I've heard good things. This is another standalone, so that is good. I do not need to start that many more series, and I'm just excited to see what this is all about because I've heard really, really good things, and I believe that this was a gift at some point and I should definitely read it. So next up we have the Stellian Birds, and for that you actually have to read a book that has any word from the periodic table inside of it. So that can be copper, gold, silver, iron, and I actually went for the final one. There's quite a couple of books, or a few actually, on my shelves that I could read for this, which is nice, but I went for Iron Flame. I think this is also the biggest on my TBR for this month. Not sure if I will get to it, but yeah, I didn't get to it in February, so that is not a big surprise. But I am quite excited to dive into this one. I did enjoy the first one quite a bit, and I think this one came out somewhere late last year. And I really like the Dragon Academy, dragon riding as a theme in a book, so I really enjoyed the first one. Can't wait to see what this second one will hold, because I feel like this one will be really dense. Then next up we have The Cretan Bull, and for this one you have to read a book that is filled with nature, and for that I have decided to go for A River Enchanted. As you can see from the title, from the title as well, river is definitely a natural element, but also the cover itself is covered in flowers and petals and water, and I believe that this also is sort of a journey into a deep forest, so this will definitely be filled with nature, and hence why I decided to put this one on my TBR as well. So next up we have The Mares of Diomedes. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably wrong, but excuse me for that. And for this one you have to read a book that has animals on the cover. For this one I have chosen The Hanging City. I don't have this physically, but I will read it digitally or via an audiobook depending on what is available. And as you can see, there's a gigantic snake on the front cover. This I think is a Greek mythology book, so that fits right into this, you know, list of books for this month. Perfectly on theme, and that's why I decided to put it on the list for this month. Then next up we have the Girdle of Hippolita, and for this one you should read a book that contains a journey. And for this one I went for The Threads That Bind. This one I think is going to be about a journey of figuring out who murdered, I think, her best friend, and I'm just really excited to see what this will be all about. I haven't read that much about the contents, but it really intrigued me, and so I decided to put it on the list. I think it's also a mythology book, so that's another plus, and that is this prompt or labor fulfilled if I do read it. Then I have The Cattle of Geryon, and for this one you have to read a highly anticipated book, and for this one I think it's more of the writer than the book itself. That is The Spells of Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This is a book that's been on my radar for a while, but weirdly enough I haven't picked up. Adrienne Young is actually a auto-buy author for me, and there's 2 books of hers that are out and I haven't bought yet and I haven't read yet. So I think, considering I don't feel the urge to buy it immediately, I'll probably listen to it on Scribd, because I think it was available when I last checked. And yeah, I don't know that much about it, so I'm excited to go in empty-headed. Okay, so then we have The Stealing of the Golden Apples, and for this you need to read a book that has a fruit or a food, which is necessarily the same thing. on the cover. And for that, I actually decided to go for Her Dark Wings. This is a book that I was gifted during Christmas, but as you can see, she's holding an apple. So I decided to go for this one. I think that is the only piece of food, depending on whether you would eat a snake or not, on the front cover. And this is a Hades Persephone retelling, so I'm excited to see what it holds. I've heard good things about the other series by Melinda Salisbury called the Sin Eater's Daughters, the first one, and this is a standalone, so I'm excited to see what this will be like. I always love any type of Hades Persephone retelling, so this is definitely fit for this list. Last but certainly not least, we have Cerberus, and for this one you have to read a book that's been on your TBR for a long time. This was easy pickings. I have a lot of those, and I actually decided to go for The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. I've gotten this book as an ARC before it was even released, and I haven't read it still. So it is high time that I put this on the list. I did enjoy the prequel that I read in January, and I actually hope that I can finish this in the month of March. That said, those were all of my 12 labors, my 12 prompts, and my 12 books for the month of March. I in no way have the illusion that I will finish all of them, but if I finish half of them, that would be an accomplishment in itself. I'm really excited for GreekGodAThon to be back, to start this once again. It is not as big as it was last year, but it was last year? No, it was 2022, so the year before that. And I'm just really excited to read with you again, go into this Greek mythology month, and we'll see where the reading will get us. I am excited to see you during the first sprint of the month, but until then, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and press the little bell icon so you get post notifications every single time that we post, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!